So in order to get nice, happy, healthy calves like these, colostrum management is perhaps the most important job that you're going to do with your calves on your farm this year. AHI have devised a very simple, easy to remember rule which will help keep your colostrum management in check, and that is colostrum 1, 2, 3. So colostrum 1 stands for the first milking. Now it's important to note that the first milking and only the first milking is suitable to feed calves for their first feed. For example, if I demonstrate here, we have two milks. We have a colostrum and we have a transition milk. Transition milk is milkings 2 to 6 and colostrum is the first milk. Now if we take this simple tool, which is called a hygrometer, you can see at the end it's green and at the top it is red. So if we plop it into the colostrum here, it will give us a crude measurement on whether or not the colostrum is of a high enough quality to feed. So what you can see is that this colostrum here comes up to the green mark, which is suggesting that this colostrum is of high enough quality, as in it contains enough antibodies to feed to our calf for their first feed. If we compare it to the transition milk, when we put the colostrometer into this, you can see it falls straight down and settles on the red part, indicating that this is not high enough quality to feed to calves as their first milk. It is extremely important to feed the calves colostrum because the calves, when they're in utero, there's no transfer of antibodies between the cow and calf. So the calf is born without any developed immune system. And it depends entirely on colostrum to develop its immune system. So we're saying just the first milking. 2 stands for 2 hours, which means that you should feed the calf colostrum within the first 2 hours of birth. This will ensure that maximum absorption of the antibodies takes place. Even by the time the calf gets to 6 hours old, its ability to absorb the antibodies from the colostrum has halved, and by 24 hours of age, it can no longer absorb any antibodies. 3, that then stands for feeding the calf 3 litres of colostrum in its first feed. So once you adhere to the colostrum 1, 2, 3 principle, so first milking within the first 2 hours of birth and feeding 3 litres, you can be guaranteed healthy calves for the remainder of the season. So once you adhere to the AHI principle of colostrum 1, 2, 3, which is using the first milk, feeding it within the first 2 hours and feeding 3 litres, you maximise your chances of maintaining a healthy calf herd for the remainder of the season.